traditional values anyway. What are values? You think values are merely those things that determine what is right and what is wrong, what ought to be and what should be? Recognize, ladies and gentlemen, that values are instruments of social control. That's the chief basis for values. That is, what values you honor are those values that determine how you behave. Where your values are, there is your money. Where your values are, there is your attention. Where your values are, there is oriented your behavior. And therefore, values are determiners of how people will behave, how they think, how they see the world and relate one to the other. They're not just right and wrong. They're not just about personal salvation. They're not just about getting into heaven or staying out of hell. Values, you should ask, values for whom? Values for whose benefit? These are the questions. Who is teaching me these values that they say I should honor? And in what way do these values, if I practice them, will benefit them? And in what way would they work for me or against my interest? It's not just a matter of going to heaven or hell. There are black people who think then that they can separate moral behavior from economic behavior. When you choose to behave morally, you also make an economic choice. If you belong to a moral system that says you should wear all white all day and nothing else, the people who are into selling colored shirts are in trouble. That means that your very moral decision determines a market. But those people who sold the white uniforms are into it. In other words, then, when your moral system tells you to eat this and don't eat that, then those people who sell what you don't eat have problems. But those who sell you what you say you should eat are into the money. You don't make moral decisions separate from economic decisions. You don't choose values that are separate from everything else that goes on in the society. So when people start talking to you about choosing values, they are talking about a means of socially controlling your behavior. And when whites tell you about traditional family values and traditional American values, they're talking about those kind of values where you say, I'm poor and I'm in need, but I'm too proud to ask for welfare. Yeah. So that way you'll die filled with values. And the American public, which has robbed you in the first place, won't have to pay a nickel for you. Yeah, that's what traditional values are. Traditional values tell you that you can let another people starve you and cut off your lifeline, take total control of your economic system, but you're such a law-abiding citizen. You won't take control of your own wealth and you'll starve to death because you're a good Negro. The major reason why America is in the trouble it is today is because of good, law-abiding, church-going Negroes. Yes. Who do not realize that there's no such thing as a sacred law, but a game that's run on the people who make the law as a means of manipulating and robbing from other people. That's what it's about. So when you become law-abiding, you agree to the rules of the game. And if the rules of the game mean that those who are in control legitimize their thievery, you will go along with their theft of your very life and property because you want to claim how law-abiding you are. And someone has told you to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's when Caesar stole it from you in the first place. Someone told you not to see color and not to choose, and that to choose to take care of your own children and to spend money so that your own children can benefit first is reverse racism. So that you feel guilty when you spend with a black person and you feel inflated and morally pure when you give your money to other people and you feel that you're doing God's will. And yet it goes against the very morality that you should know, that those who receive charity should be those who are in need of it most. And if you looked hard at your own situation, you would recognize that black children and black people are in need of your wealth more than any other people. But somebody's got you thinking that to give your wealth to people who are already rich, to not pay any attention to how you spend your money, is an example of Christian charity and morality. And therefore, following this moral structure, you have created neighborhoods overrun with the kind of problems that we talk about here today.